Hi, Intro to Psychology learners. I hope you are doing well. This is to provide you with an overview of Module 2. And I think you would know this, but click on Course Menu, go to Learning Modules, and if you're clicking on Module 2, you can see that you have your book resources and the discussion and our assignment. So in our discussion, I just want to point out, I think it's really important to see the discussion rubric. I know you're going to get feedback on how you did for the first discussion, but this is important to pay attention to. And I'll show you why. It's because this is what you're getting graded on. So remember that for contributions to the learning community, you want to support what you're saying with credible resources. If you don't do that, it gets knocked down to here to needs improvement because it says may not be supported by credible resources. And remember that for our purposes, the credible resource is the text. Make sure that you're connecting what you're saying in the discussion to two of the programmatic themes, because see how it says multiple themes. That's how you get to the best grade. This just says one of the themes. And here's the themes right here. And remember, for advancement of discussion, you just want to make sure that you're integrating views from other learners and sources. This can be anything. This doesn't say it has to be credible like it does up here. This just says integrates views from other sources. I think the text is the easiest thing to do, because you've already read it, so you might as well just use the text. But this is saying anything, so any website, any other book, whatever you want to use. Just make sure that it's in both of your posts, because see how it says response posts, plural, add to the discussion, and integrate views. Otherwise, it gets knocked down to needs improvement. And then for professional communication, just make sure that you're doing proper APA citation methods. And timeliness, just make sure it's posted by Thursday. And you just get points off if you post it by Sunday. And it's not that many points out of the total. So don't worry about posting by Sunday. Just make sure that it's in there by Sunday. But posting by Thursday would mean that you wouldn't lose any points there. For your other assignment, it's this graphic organizer. And I just want to point out, when you click on this, you want to read the guidelines and rubric. And again, you want to make sure that you're focused on the rubric. So I think for this one, if you go into your book, see how if you go into contents, it tells you about the milestone. And it's having you write it in here, here's the graphic organizer. And here is how you're, this is where you respond. You type right in there. And technically it's on the next page is where you type it in, right in there. So you are saying, let me just go back. I just want to show you that you're focused on this. See how it says, to review how the perspectives relate to nature and nurture, look back to the nature and nurture section. So this is basically saying that you want to say if you think that nature or nurture is more important for each of these perspectives of psychology, because psychology has a lot of different perspectives. Psychologists disagree. Remember how we talked about the biopsychosocial approach? Psychologists don't have to agree about how they think, what's most responsible for behavior. That's why it's so important for you guys to be citing your sources, because you don't have to agree. You just have to have credible support for what you're saying. So if you go back to this nature and nurture page, let me just show you what happens. See how it has all of the perspectives and it says whether they think that nature or nurture are more related. This is kind of like your cheat sheet, you know what I mean? For cognitive, you might have to make a decision, but for the rest of them, it's already telling you what they said. So make sure that you're reading that. Here's a little summary of each of them. And that's on page, what page is this? Sorry, that's on page 2.2. Okay, so if you're looking at that milestone, so just make sure that you're using some information. Like, remember how I just said that you have to support what you're saying using information? Like, it's not just your opinion, it's your opinion in the sense that you are saying if it's nature or nurture, and you're using information to support what you're saying. So let's go back to that milestone and see how in here, it's not showing, but in the graphic organizer, there it is. In the graphic organizer, it's giving you information about nature, it's giving you information about nurture. So you could use this, or you could go back into your book and you could look up each of the perspectives. Like, you can use anything that you read. You can use what it's saying right here. Like, you could use this. You know what I mean? Like, you just make sure that you're using something to support what you're saying. Anything to support what you're saying. So it's only your opinion in the sense that, remember, psychologists disagree. So it's like your expert opinion. So you use anything from the text or from that graphic organizer to support why you're saying that nature or nurture is more significant for each of these perspectives. And then just see how it says, think about the ways stress impacts your own life. So just make sure that your response relates to stress. And that's basically it. I just want to point out that for what you're getting graded on, just make sure that you are citing correctly. And remember that you can use the tool up here, like tools. You can use the citation guide right here. And the citation guide tells you how to cite our book. So it says it right here. You can just copy and paste this to the bottom of your assignments. And this is how, like, you put this in parentheses at the ends of any of the sentences that contain information from the reading. And then our other thing this week, oh no, we already discussed the discussion. All right, so we're good. And then just remember that when you're in Module 2, the way that you upload that assignment is by clicking here, and then you upload you download the template from your book, and then you upload that file here. Reach out if you have any questions, l.buddington@snhu.edu, or you can go into discussions and click on general questions, and you could ask me a question there. All right? Let me know if you have any questions, and have a good week.